Hello, welcome back to Math is Easy, Step by Step. This is part 2 video and answering the word problem test question. What will be the temperature at 1 p.m.? So here in this part 2 video, I just want to go over key knowledge, skills, and abilities concerning unit rates. If you don't understand a unit rate, I'm just going to give an example only of what a unit rate is. And then in the second part of this part 2 video, I'm going to explain the unit rate that relates to the test question problem. But this that you see here on this page is only an example of what is a unit rate. All right, let's jump right into it. So we have a value of time, let's just say 5 hours. And then we have a temperature of 15 degrees. Similar to what we're talking about in this word problem, but these are not the values. This is all made up so you can understand what a unit rate is, okay? A unit rate, simply put, is this here. And let me just show it to you now. You want to understand unit rate. Basically, you're going to reduce or simplify a fraction or a ratio, right? That's the name of a fraction, is also called a ratio. You want to show a value of 1 in the denominator's place. That's the bottom number of the fraction. All right, that is how you are going to create a unit rate. And that's what basically a definition of a unit rate. So in this particular example, and I want to leave this up here so you can see it, we're talking about temperature 15 degrees over time. So time is 5 hours in the example I just created up there. And again, this has very little to do with the test question other than it's a unit rate. I want to show you what a unit rate is and explain if you don't know. So I want to create a 1 in the time, the denominator's place. I want to turn that 5 into a 1. What number can I divide into top and bottom without a remainder that would give me 1 in the denominator? That's creating a unit rate. So here we got 15 degrees over 5 hours. If I divide top and bottom of this fraction by 5, I will get a unit rate of 1 hour in the denominator's place. So 15 divided by 5 is 3 degrees. 5 hours divided by 5 is 1 hour. That's my unit rate. So 3 degrees per 1 hour. That's what I want to do with this test question problem. I want to create a unit rate. Now we'll do that with you. I'm going to go very, very, very slow in explaining how you can do this. I'm also in the last video going to give you some helpful search items that you can punch into any internet search to practice these type of word problems or unit rate problems. All right, but we're not done here. Again, I wanted just to show you the unit rate in this example. We have 3 temperature changes of 3 degrees over 1 hour. So 3 degrees are changed every 1 hour. This is a great example of a unit rate. Now, what I'd like to do is switch and get into an example of this problem and just show you very slowly here how to do that. Using the values from that part 1 video and using what I call a number line. Now, you can always use the math integers, adding, subtracting integers, but I like to show a number line because I don't like to make mistakes. All right, so the unit rate problem listed, I want to, from the listed facts, right? 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. is 3 hours. All right, and every 3 hours, there was a change from -10 to -1 degrees. That is a total of a 9-degree change. Again, not interested in the negative values. I just want to know what's the total change of temperature in between -10 to -1. It's 9 degrees. That's what I'm interested in. I'm going to use these values to create a unit rate in order to determine the total rate of change over time. And so I like to use a number line. You can do this pretty quick on your scratch paper. I went from 0 to +1, +2, and just stopped there. I went from 0 to -1 all the way down to -10, right? Because -10 up to -1. How many times did I move the value? I moved it 9 times to get to -1. So from -10, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 changes of temperature to get to -1. That's how I came up with this -9 value. So now we kind of have a unit rate that we could set up, and I want to show that to you now. Let me get this up here. I know I'm running tight on time, but I do not like to rush. I do not like to rush. I like to take my time. And so I'm going to leave that up there for you. You can always stop, pause, rewind the video if I'm going too fast. Okay. So again, the unit rate we're going to create, and we're looking to find the change of temperature over every hour, right? That's that unit rate, 1 in the denominator's place. So the change of temperature here was 9 degrees. Per every what? Every 3 hours. From 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. was 3 hours. And so I want to show you that here. And so this will be the conclusion of the part 2 video. I'll get into part 3 and part 4, possibly part 5, in finishing to explain how to answer this test question. So we have change of temperature, 9 degrees, divided by the hours, or per every hour, right? That's what we're looking for in that unit rate, every hour. So 9 over 3. There's a 9-degree change every 3 hours. Again, from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. is 3 hours. Change 9 degrees. What number can I divide in this bottom to create a unit rate or create a 1? I can divide a 3. But what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So 9 divided by 3 is 3-degree change. And then 3 hours divided by 3, it gives me that unit rate of 1 hour in the denominator's place. So it was a 3-degree change per every 1 hour. And that's what I'm showing you here. It just so happens from my made-up example to this unit rate example that is actually test question values. It is a 3-degree to 1 hour change of time. Hey, stick with me for part 3 and part 4, maybe part 5 videos if we need it. I'm going to go over and show you how to get to the answer step by step. Remember, the total change of degrees is not yet the answer. There's one more step you have to take in order to get to that answer. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me. If I've helped you, please help others. Like, follow, share, subscribe.